Okay, hello guys, and welcome to this new tutorial video wherein I show my steps to this wonderful thumbnail. So the idea behind this thumbnail came as a result of so last year I had a client from Europe and I had serious difficulties like finding a way for him to send me my money for my services. So I had to look for a way so that I he could actually send me the money. It was so stressful, so finally I had to create like a PayPal account. So this was the main idea, the main drive to this thumbnail. So rapidly, this is the image I used to design this thumbnail. So the first thing I did was to separate the subject from the background. So for that I had to use my pen tool. So I have this question, like it's very common. Why is it that I use a pen tool? Why they are common and very fast techniques to separate subject from the background. So the truth is that the pen tool, for me, on my own opinion, it's very accurate compared to other techniques, especially when the image you're using it's not that good. So in my pen tool, I have like full control on what I want and what I don't want uh for my image. So that is why I always go in for the pen tool compared to other tools. It's true I might use other tools like quick selection and things like that or the magic selection. Yeah, but generally the selection or most of the time the selections are not good, especially when the image is of low quality. I'm just driving through the model, making sure that I select the most important parts of my subject. So at the level of the hair, at times it's like it's very difficult, but well, I just need to select the most important parts. Then with some blending and stuff like that, then I'll be able to handle the white areas during the process of creating the general thumbnail. So don't bother, just make sure you select the most relevant and most important parts of your subject. So the next thing is going to be looking for some images to incorporate in my thumbnail. So the first idea I had was to incorporate a bank, the image of a bank. So we talk about money, talk about PayPal, obviously. In some way we actually think about the bank. So I really wanted to like incorporate that in my artwork. Then the next thing is that I had to look for PayPal's logo. I went to Google to see or to search for the best image which I could easily use so as to showcase or to make to put in more interest actually on the thumbnail, like people stuff like that. So the next thing I was thinking of adding is an African image to reflect the fact that the solution is for Africans. So I went in like navigating and I think I had to choose this picture. So I went in, I saved. So rapidly I created my workspace with dimensions with respect to actually to the display of thumbnails on YouTube. So the next thing I did was that I went searching for an interface for the PayPal account, the PayPal app, sorry. So I needed an interface for that. So I went on Google, search for a dope interface. So that said, I went in my workspace, imported my image. The main subject, I had to place it in a way that it could be convenient for the text and the other elements. So followed by that, I thought of creating a small box. So the idea of this small box is actually to give me a kind of perspective of the images I'm gonna place at the back. So with this, I have like so since I have the guide there, so the images will be like popping out this way, following a certain perspective. It's true that at the end it might not help, but it gives me a more convenient idea of what I'm trying to do. So rapidly, I'm going to like add in the images, the various images. I have the bank. I'm just going to do rapid selection here. So we see here that the image is not that bad, and with the rapid selection, it perfectly selects what I want. So for this case, I didn't use a pen tool. I didn't use a pen tool, given that it was not equally like a main subject, because I know I was going to blur it out. So it didn't have to be so detailed and stuff like that. So that's why I just went in like using the rapid method. So after bringing in my image, I equally brought up the image of grassland, which reflects African nature and stuff like that. So next with my image, I went into camera raw to add some vibe to this background picture. So I had the impression was so clear, so I had to add some texture. I wanted to add some colors so that it might easily blend with what I had in mind. So all you actually see is just like I'm just trying to see or testing things out. It's not as if I have already a procedure. I'm just testing things out related to what I have in mind. So I equally have to blend the image of the bank because now we actually see that it's not of the same color with that of the background. So for me to do that, I had to change this to a rasterized image. Yeah, I had to change it to a rasterized image. Um, and give a name to this background. So next I'm going to go to adjust match color. I'm going to choose the workspace and equally the file I would like to match my bank to. So this is actually so the next thing was actually to work a little bit on the surface or the bottom of the bank. I really wanted it to match a little bit with the background, which was already kept, the environment and everything. So I had to work a little bit on the that. Next, using a very light brush and black as my color, I went in like creating a very dark surface at the bottom of the workspace, like to bring in more focus on the back and equally on the landscape at the back. Next, I had the impression the background was so clear, so I had to actually blur it out a little bit to actually create that depth effect. So I equally did that a bit with the bank, but the bank was not so blurry compared to the landscape at the back. So next came in room for the text. So the title of the thumbnail was create a PayPal account, get paid online um, in Africa, something like that. So that said, I had to work on the size. I wanted the PayPal account to be bigger than the other, so I had to work on the spacing between PayPal and account. Then on equally other stuffs like the size between create a and get paid online. The next thing I did was to add some effects on the text to make it stand out. So I had to add some stuff like strokes, um, bevel and emboss, things like that, so as to make the text or the title of the thumbnail actually to stand out. Next, I brought in the logo of the PayPal app. So I wasn't able to get a transparent version, so I had to download this and then get it out with my pen tool again. Then I thought of adding some stroke to it to make it a little bit stand out, given that it was not that good. Yeah, so I had to add some stroke, then convert it to a smart object. So I just brought in back my subject to see how which space he could easily occupy in the thumbnail. I went in like resizing one or two things. Finally, this light I kept on the back. Uh, I think it wasn't like okay. So I had to look for a place where to put this icon for the PayPal account. So though I actually think I left this out for the moment because I think it's going to play. I will be able to actually sort it out at the end. So I think I'm going to take this off, and equally the light I just created at the back, that's the yellow light. I think it's not corresponding to what I want. So finally, I duplicated the banks. Don't ask me why, and I decided to create an orange light at the back of my model, my subject. So I went in changing the sizes, changing the intensity of the brush, and then trying to see how I could easily create some light there at the back. In this stage, I'm just like playing with the lights, playing with the blending modes to see which is going to create the effect I want. So as I said, nothing is like determined from the start. So I just have something in mind and I'm just trying to like make it like come to reality. So it's just an issue of testing and see which works best. I was actually okay with the background color, so I wanted to add some color, reflection color on the subject. That's to create more of that vibe. So to do that, I had to bring in some adjustment layers wherein I have my color as orange because it's an orange light from the back. So I just went in like adjusting the size, like trying to paint around the guy, so as to create that vibe. So for all the areas which were so in the process of adding some lights and everything, I noticed there was a lot of details on the guy which I had to like adjust. So for me to do that, I had to go to camera raw. So yeah, the idea was just to reduce the amount of light, the white colors and stuff like that, which were so bright on my opinion. So I just had to set things like increase the texture, increase the clarity, increase the sharpness of my image. Okay, being okay with the result, I just went back to my work, still adjusting with my adjustment layers, like using my brush so as to create that the reflection of the light on the guy that's at the level of the extreme ends of the jaw, the face, things like the fingers. This is not actually the final result of things. I'm just like putting then what I can do next it's like trying to shape out um these colors using the dodge tool. And even at times I will like reduce the opacity of the effects I'm like adding At times I'll have to like blur the effects out or change even the blending mode so that it will not be so sharp, so that the artwork actually remains natural. Given that we're talking about PayPal, I had the idea of like bringing in the interface of the app. So I had to look for an image with the interface. So what I just did was to crop relevant um the relevant portion of the image I needed. I just needed the interface with some details there. I didn't take my time to like customize the details on the image, so I just had to crop it. So came in the process of like blending the interface to the phone. So I had to make portions like these portions under the fingers. I had to make it. I had to clear these regions because the fingers had to show at the top. So I did that for the three fingers. Just continued like adding some effects on the subject, like lights where I saw or I thought was relevant, to just add more effect to the the thumbnail, you know. Equally, I thought the color or the background color was not enough, so I had to continue working on the blending modes, um, the color, the intensity, checking which goes, which actually presents the best, and stuff like that. I equally thought of adding some details like, yeah, we're talking about money, we're talking about being paid, so obviously we need to like bring in some effects or some elements like money, dollars, and stuff like that. So I thought this was equally great idea. So I downloaded this image, and I just looked for, I was just searching for the best way to put it, and so I'm going to like just erase some dollars or some money, some notes I think are not relevant or which are not at the right places with respect to my thumbnail. So I'm equally going to like copy other notes which I will later place elsewhere. I think then something very important is actually to make everything like blend. So given that the backnote is close to the light source, I thought it was actually important for me to add some light effects at the level of the banknotes, which were very like closer to the guy, closer to the light source and stuff like that. So with a curve layer and equally some other adjustment layers, I just said let me just create some natural stuff to make it real, like damn. I just had the impression the thumbnail was lacking some African effects. So we know in Africa we have a lot of animals, we have a lot of birds, stuff like that. So I thought it was a good idea equally adding this somewhere on my thumbnail. So I will just adjust this, okay, then place at the back, and I will equally blur it out. The aim still is to create that depth effect, given that the birds are like right at the back. Then lastly, to make that natural and realistic, I'm going to add some blur effects on the birds. Yeah, I'm going to blur it out a little bit. Then select some areas, or actually delete some birds which on my opinion are not at the right places. um yeah, so I just have to like select which I would like to keep. So I'm just going to create like a mask and just move closer and just like erase those I see are not relevant. So now came the moment for me to bring back the PayPal account, the PayPal icon, and actually see a place where I could easily put it. And equally the last part of the title of the thumbnail, that's get paid online in Africa, which is the main focus. So I just had to adjust the icon instead of putting it there and equally down here. So the last thing I did was to bring this in camera raw where the last magic occurs. So I just had to touch some little things, sharpening, texture, clarity, adjusting colors, touching one or two things, increasing, adding some green effects, adding some steps actually to make the final product pop out. So here is the final result, and actually tell me what you think about it. So I hope you actually love the video, and equally let me know in the comment section if the link I sent to create a PayPal account was helpful.